Hi everybody, welcome to what is going to be the first of a couple of visual fundamental series videos that we're going to make. And in this first video we're going to talk about two really important things. We're going to talk about our band posture, our marching band posture, and our 5 points of alignment. There's not a lot to it. The first thing you're going to want to make sure you're doing is that your feet are in first position. This is a dance term, but for you all it means is that we're going to have our heels touching in the back and our toes turned out, kind of like 11 and 1 on an old-timey analog clock. Some people say you want to make a triangle, some people say imagine your perfect slice of pizza, but your perfect slice of pizza and my perfect slice of pizza might be different, so it's really more of a visual thing than anything. So that's the very first thing we learned in our band posture, and it's called first position. The next thing we need to talk about are our 5 points of alignment, and our 5 points of alignment are the ankle bone, the knee, the hip, the shoulder, and the ear. Why do we call them 5 points of alignment? Because when we're standing in our band posture, we want to imagine that there's a straight line drawn in between them. We want to imagine that there's a straight line from my ear all the way down to my ankle bone. Additionally, we want to make sure that there's a little bit of space in between your bottom rib and your hip. So you can do your this guy right here, put your thumb on your bottom rib, put your pinky on your hip, and stretch up a little bit. You can imagine that there's an imaginary string, an imaginary thread on the top of your head that kind of tugs you up. I think we've all been in class when our teachers have said, okay, everybody sit 1 inch taller. We definitely want that. So we want to be nice and tall, lift it up towards the sky, making sure that we're not sinking down into our hips. So we're up, and then that we also have our 5 points, our ear, our shoulder, our hip, our knee, and our ankle bone in a straight line together. Now what happens if our 5 points of alignment aren't in alignment? Well, then you're going to look kind of funny, right? So for example, I can push my hips forward and now my shoulders are back, so it's not just one error but two. It's going to make you look funny, but it's also not going to sound very good. So you need to push your hips back, you need to push your shoulders forward. I guess I've never seen anybody with their knees out of alignment, but it could conceivably happen. So there's a couple things we can do. Sometimes our bottoms stick out a little bit too much, we're working a little too hard, and so we feel this curve in our back. So you can do something called zipping up the abs. You take one hand and you put it right below your belly button, and you take the other hand and you put it just at the top of the small of your back. And at the same time you move them in opposite direction, so it kind of pushes the bottom forward more and helps us get those points of alignment more in line. So to review our 5 points of alignment, building it from bottom to top: ankle bone, knee, hip, shoulder, ear. We also just learned first position, and between those two things, and we stretch up towards the sky, that's our band posture.